So this morning I was doing my art history lecture and taking notes, and we're currently studying the late 19th century, and that time period produced some of my most favorite art pieces. And something that really stuck out to me was art for the sake of art, or art for art's sake, kind of just making art for the sake of making it. It doesn't have to have purpose, it doesn't have to have intention, it doesn't have to have meaning, it doesn't have to convey something that's easily digestible, as a lot of other movements kind of focused on. And that's something that just really stuck with me, because I think that's something that I've grappled with a lot in my art. A lot of times I just want to make art that doesn't have an easily conclusive meaning to people. It's more about you look at the art and interpret what it means to you, because that's the beauty of art. Not everyone is going to see the same thing. And then it got me thinking to how artists that are dead, or art that hasn't been made far in the past, they can't really defend their intentions behind the art. You can't properly know what they meant to make. And obviously I know there are ways through the study and understanding of the time period and artistic developments, but I was just thinking, what if they didn't mean any of that? What if it was an accident? I hear art critics and art historians just absolutely enthralled by these pieces, which as they should be, but it's just funny to me to think that what if the artist didn't mean that? It's still just as valid that it was created and was likely done subconsciously, but that's something I've seen in my art a lot. I've heard my professors or my teachers in the past, or just observers, other people, just kind of pointing out things wow, the way you considered this or that and that. And yes, I did consider that, but a lot of it is subconscious. A lot of it I didn't really consciously think about when I was putting it on. And I think a lot of that goes into skill and study and intuition. A lot of the stuff I create is through intuition, intuitive color theory, just kind of listening to myself. There was another thing that stood out to me in the lecture that was about how I think in symbolism art they were trying to create based on memory and the way in which you internalized an experience, more so than actually conveying the experience through realism, which I thought was really interesting, because that's also something I do a lot in my art, just kind of interpreting and displaying my internalized experience. That is literally majority of my art. And also just seeing the way in which, even in history, which isn't that surprising, how abstract art was debated and not seen as valuable, or not seen as easily marketable. And I just think it's easily so interesting how far back it goes, and how incredible artists are, and how incredibly resilient we are, that no matter the ebbs and flows of movements and criticism and just the way in which art is absorbed, we still come out and create these incredible pieces that are so revolutionary. And I don't know, it really inspires me and really motivates me, and I think it's just so interesting. I love art history. I think there are so many problematic artists in history, and we really need to focus on de-Eurocentralizing. Is that the right word? I don't know. Yeah, whatever. We need to focus on decolonizing art history and focusing on returning art to the proper places that it was stolen from, and looking at art through a lens that isn't harmful towards minority groups and isn't prioritizing Eurocentric views, because I think that's something I've observed a lot through my first year of taking art history class. I just think art history is so complex and so interesting and so multifaceted, and I don't know how to conclude this, but make art for art's sake, and don't give a damn what other people think, because as long as you're enjoying what you make, that's all that fucking matters. But also, don't exoticize people and steal from other cultures in your art. Okay, that's it.